Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, however, I wanted to make the next video in my series of how I got my job in this international airline and how life is.
Hello?
Make sure to hit subscribe and click the bell next to it to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So, in the previous video, I shared how I actually got this job, which was a whole long process of another kind. It'll be linked up here and down below if you want to watch it. But now the next course of action. I got the job. As I told you, had to pay for 1 month of my notice period. What after that? So I came to Singapore and they gave us a hotel accommodation of a week, and the thing is my family came. So the day I landed, my family came. But they had to check into their Airbnb. Then I've got highlights from my first day in Singapore, the first few weeks. I've put that as a highlight on my Instagram page called Singapore. You can watch that if you want to see all of this. Then my mom, being my mom and knowing how the world works, she made sure to contact every single person we know in Singapore, and we don't know a lot of. So what we did, we contacted people who know people who are in Singapore. So we literally tried to get any contact with anybody in Singapore. And I was like, Mom, why? We'll do it together, don't you worry, we all can do it by ourselves. She was like, you still need people for emergencies. And guess what? Those people are what came to help. So there were two people that came to help, which we know because of mutual people, and they were living here. And one of those ladies helped us so much. She told us all about how to get a house here and what the situation is like, what kind of house you should get, this area, that, every question possible we asked. It was so helpful, just blessed. So she said when she came to Singapore for her house, she had contacted an agent. So originally I had seen online that you can actually buy houses on apps. When you're just coming into Singapore, you don't want to buy, you want to rent. Everybody, like 90% of people rent in Singapore, even the Singaporeans rent. So we got to know, okay, we have to rent, can't buy a house. Cool, how do we rent? So I saw apps. So the apps that I saw was propertyguru.com, SG Property. Sitting in India, it was so difficult to understand the houses, because how housing system works here is either a condo or an HDB. HDB is like the government housing, but they look much better than the ones that we have in India. Or you have condo, which is like the new kind of houses, where in that housing complex you have a pool, gym, stuff like that. Now, how they give the houses is that there are not a lot of one-room house. It's either a studio, apartment, not one-room houses are not easily available. They're either studios, and studios are usually condos only. So now condo is going to be more expensive, of course, because they come with the added facilities, right? And about housing, how they give the house is they give rooms. So there's going to be one room which is going to be bigger, which is a master bedroom, because if you see according to the government, how one room is made for the parents, one for the children, then they have a drawing room and stuff like that. And then there's going to be one master bedroom is going to be attached with a bathroom, so that's why it'll be expensive. If you take the other room, it's not going to have an attached bathroom, it'll have the common bathroom. So then that will be cheaper in the sense like only few $100s will be less. Then about the kitchen, you need to see if you can cook there, because usually, more often than not, all houses will allow only boiled food, because that's the kind of food people they eat. From what I've heard, please don't come for me. So for us, like, we need to do oil kind of cooking. That's not allowed in most of the houses. Then unless they're Indians that are giving you the house. Also, about houses, you need to check which race they allow. I know at first I was like, what? That is so weird. But they will tell that only Chinese allowed, only Indians allowed, only Malay allowed. So you need to check if your race is even allowed to rent, if they're gonna rent it to you. You might want to check on the app if you're living with the owner of the house, or you're living with other people who are also renting. Because if you're living with the owner of the house, I guess you'll have to, up to you, whatever you feel like. I would not want to live there, but you have to see those things. So lots of things to consider. Then they're gonna share what's the nearest. You need to make sure that there's a nearest MRT, which is the metro station, a nearest bus stop, because otherwise you'll have to walk so much, because getting out of your house and the entire complex is also a big walk. And then if you have to walk to the bus stop also, not good. And don't think that I'm not gonna use the bus, because when we came as tourists, we were like, dude, if we live here, we're just gonna walk, it's so healthy. You can't walk. No, when you live there on everyday basis, you're not gonna walk that much, and even if you do, it's so hot in the daytime, you need bus and stuff, otherwise you'll get sick. At least I do. You need to make sure that there is a fair price or a marketplace nearby so you can buy your groceries. So you need to keep these things in perspective. Now, since I work at the airport, I had to make sure that I get a house near the airport. If you don't see all this in the profile on the app, you can actually speak with the agent or the owner. Again, if you're getting a house from the owner there, you don't need to give any extra money. If it's an agent, they'll take their own fee, which is usually 1 month rent. So you need to keep all that in perspective. So if you are coming to Singapore and you wonder how much money do I need to keep aside for housing, check there. It's all in Singapore dollars, so you can convert and see how much is for housing only, which you'll see is a lot. So save a lot. That lady said she's going to give us her agent's number. Let's do it through an agent. So she met us, we told the agent everything on message, our requirements, and she was like, fine, whenever, till the time you come to Singapore, I'll have everything looked up. We came, met her on the very first or second day of being there, I think. Not sure actually, you can see my vlogs for that. I vlogged the entire process of getting a house, looking at houses, so you can watch the whole entire thing on my other channel. It's called My Indian Life. Make sure to check it out, because after this video it'll be more fun because you know the context and stuff, right? So then we met her and she had like about 3-4 houses for us. So we decided we don't want to share. Not that I'm too good to share, but I just know I can't share. So the agent showed us the house. Now how the agents do this here, the property agent will pick you up in her car. She took us to every location, which is so convenient because hey, we're new in this country, we don't know how to get around. So that was so convenient. She took us to every house. There was electricity in every house, and we saw most houses are furnished, so we could actually see how the space looks. And then we decided upon a house because the owner of this house is so nice and he seemed so passionate about his own house. We just kind of rubbed off on us, and then we checked the Vastu. Yes, we do check Vastu before taking a house. It really matters. So we checked the Vastu and this house ended up being perfect. So we got it. Now, one more benefit of a travel agent, I would say, is that she has a car that's like a big car. So she actually helped us move into the house also, because we had to give her 1 month's rent. That's a lot of money. So she actually, we didn't even have to take a taxi. Otherwise it would be, the onus would be upon us to move, and we would have to take so many taxi trips and stuff. Here we just loaded all the bags and everything in her car. In one go, everything was there. So that was very convenient, especially for a newcomer. Now maybe I can do it with the app, but I really think if you come here first, travel agent is really good, because she said, she showed us some other condos also. She was like, I can get you this condo, and it looked so nice. She's like, it's much more expensive even, but then there's no bus stop nearby. And now living here, I know that that condo would be much better, but then there's no bus stop, and how inconvenient that would be. So she actually thought of that, and we would have never even, like, that thought would never cross our mind, because we don't know about the daily inconveniences that we might have. So that is very helpful. My mom was asking all questions, and the owner was like, don't you worry mommy, she'll be fine, and stuff like that. And I had my name on the property. I had to sign it, and it was a big deal. Of course I did not give all the money. My mom gave like the bulk of the money. I gave whatever savings I could from my 5-year job. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, how do you afford to live in Singapore? I've worked for 5 years, dude. I'll have some saving. Do you think I was just spending all that money? Hello? That happened. My house was thankfully completely furnished. Didn't have to buy anything. Whatever I wanted, we got from India, and the times that my family did go back and come, they got even more stuff. For that, you can watch another video that I did sharing what all you need before moving to another country. So that video is helpful for that. So that's how I got the house, electricity and stuff. So this already had an internet wire, because this is a condo, so they had a wire already. We got the phone number of the internet guy from the property agent. That was convenient. He came the next day and the internet was there in 4 hours. And we talked to that property agent for anything in Singapore. We were like, which telecommunication network is best? She said, oh, do this. I've got Singtel internet. We had Singtel TV for 3 months, which I just recently returned the cable box to. I showed that in my video where I tried the raw diet for 24 hours. I cycled to the Singtel shop. You can watch that again. Now all my videos make sense, huh? About the gas, my home owner had a guy for gas, so he had the number stuck on the kitchen counter. So we called, the gas was there in a few hours. Then electricity, you have to give a you have to give a deposit for that, which I'll get back if I leave this house. So we had to give extra money for that. So again, getting things started, you have to pay the deposits, and it's very expensive there also. So I had to pay half of my 1 month rent to my property agent, if I'm not wrong, and one full whole month's rent extra to my homeowner. So I gave 2 months rent, and that's a lot of money. So you need a lot of money, and I'm talking in lakhs. Okay, if you want to know exactly, like, give me the exact number, because if I just don't say the number, you guys just not satisfied. Also, I forgot to share that when they give you a house and it's furnished, they're gonna print out 2 separate lists, one for him, one for you, and then before you give them the payment, they're gonna count down every single thing that's there, even up to the lighter for the gas and everything. So make sure to tick how many things are there on the list that are there. If something is not there, you cut it out. If something is damaged, they're gonna show it to you. If they don't, you write that and state it there and then that this was damaged. Write it, because then when you give the house back, in order to get your security deposit back, that'll matter. And if they are real in the beginning to help you, they're gonna be real when they don't want to help you also. For the first 1 month, if there's any damage, he's gonna be responsible for it. He's gonna pay for it. He's gonna figure it out. So that's that. And also, they don't take payments by cash. He's not gonna come to take the payment. So they usually, in Singapore at least, it's an account-to-account transfer, and it's very easy. You can do it very easily with your bank account number, and the bank account number is not that long as in India, so everybody has pretty much memorized their account number. I've not yet. So in the beginning, my bank account took some time to make, because I needed some documents from my airline that were not yet given. So I requested him, can you please take it in cash? I cannot. But he was a bit annoyed, I could see by that, because he was like, make sure to do this early. So you need to get your bank account done early. Bank account also I did myself. I'll make a separate video about that, sharing how that works, what I figured out about my finances yet, which is nothing. That's why I'm not making a video about finances yet. But about the housing situation, yeah, 1 month, and you get a WhatsApp group with your property agent and the homeowner and you, and you can talk about anything that's gone bad. But at least in my case, I made sure to ask him, are you gonna come around? Because I don't want that. Privacy, please. So my homeowner is not like that. He's like, usually we also don't want to see you unless it's money. I mean, he said it in a joking way, but I'm like, I get your point. Just, yeah, make sure to ask them if you can put things on the wall, what you can do, because he said you do whatever, but then at the time when you're giving it back to me, it should look the same. So I'm like, great, I'm not gonna do a painting job at that time, so might as well not put anything on the wall. So make sure to have that all asked up. In the bathroom, they did not have a shooter, because in Singapore it's a wipe and go method. We are not comfortable with that, so we asked them that is there any way to get it done, because we saw in Daiso you can actually attach a hose to the nearest tap and then attach a shower thing you get what I'm trying to say, to it. And they were like, what? We said, can we do that? We asked that also. He's like, what are you trying to say? Then they were like, oh, okay. They tried to explain to each other. They're like, okay, yeah, fine, you can do that. So we bought it. But make sure to ask it first, because then if something goes wrong, you don't know. We were actually wondering if he can provide it, but no. Luckily in the bathroom we have a tap nearby, and we're not using that bathroom, so that's why we could do it. We also had to make a card to enter in my complex building. A card as in it's a proper physical card with my picture, and it's electronic. So that took a few days, so we could not use the gym and all. So get that done as well, because my owner had to transfer his card to our card. So stuff like that had to be done. Get the address proper, get all papers proper. Yeah, I think just be in liaison with your property agent. Is it liaison or liaison? So that's about the housing situation. I think I talked about every single thing. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there must be something that's missed out that you guys will remember. So make sure to comment down below any other questions that you have about the housing system in Singapore, and I'll make sure to do a separate video titled Housing in Singapore. So put in any question from little to big, anything at all, in the comment section below that I've not already answered in this video, and I'll make a video about that as soon as possible. Next video will be about my journey ahead in the training center, so make sure to stay tuned. You can watch my previous video, which was the first video in the series about how I actually got this job. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.